Now, I know you may think this video title is quite clickbaity, but here are the facts. I made my very first $1,000 from my online coaching offer when I had just 52 subscribers, and most of my videos were getting anything between 80 to 100 views per video. In today's video, what I want to do is just explain to you why views really don't matter and just give you another way of thinking as to what is success when it comes to online business and what isn't. Because right now, when I speak to a lot of you guys in my email marketing and potentially on the DMs and comments and stuff, people's number one perception of success is views. The more views I'm going to get, the more successful I'm going to be. And I can't stress enough, having now done this myself for 5 years, that is just false, okay? So I'm going to give you a few stories and just a few things for you to really think about as to maybe, hey, targeting the most amount of views videos isn't actually the idea that I want to do, isn't exactly what I should be achieving for, isn't something that I should be striving for. Maybe it is something else. And if so, what is it? Okay, so first things first, like I said, I started my own Amazon FBA mentorship business back in 2020. And when I started it, it was literally, I did not think about anything at all. I just thought, let me just do some YouTube videos, help out some people start off their own Amazon FBA businesses because, hey, I've done something well. I thought I might as well help out others. Now, back in the day, I did not have any of this. I didn't have the lights, I didn't have the background, I didn't have a fancy camera, none of it. I literally just opened up my laptop, pressed screen record, pressed voice record, and just started speaking. And believe it or not, those videos did not do any well at all. I was getting 2 or 3 subscribers a week, if that, and I was getting barely any views whatsoever. But slowly but surely, okay, people started commenting, hey, I really appreciate your tutorial there. I really appreciate how you told me about the mistakes that I wanted to avoid. I really appreciate how you explained to me about this product research. Can I speak with you on a 1-hour call? Can I pay you to get your advice on this? Can I pay you? Can you teach me? And so on and so forth. These sort of DMs, these sorts of comments, these sorts of questions started to happen about a month, 2 months in, when I was still completely fresh. I did not know anything about editing. I did not know anything about camera presence. I did not know anything about anything, to be honest. But because I was providing valuable information to my target audience, the target audience responded because I was helping them with their problem and they wanted more information from me, and they were happy to exchange money for that information, which was incredible for me. I thought I had to have thousands and thousands of subscribers and thousands of views in order to get anything at all, but I actually started monetizing my channel when I had literally under 50 subscribers and barely any views. Now, most people will never tell you that. Most people will say, hey, you need thousands of views in order to get started. But then let me ask you this. What would you rather have? Would you rather have 1,000 people of your target audience that you want to help, that is perfect for you, that can afford your services? Or would you rather have 100,000 people, let's say from India or Pakistan or any other third world country, that can never afford any of your services? Now, one, you are actually making money and you're helping your target audience and you're doing what you love and you're making a difference. And then in the other, you're basically speaking to people and just getting views, but that doesn't translate into anything at all. So on the surface, you look very, very successful with getting so many views, but you're not actually getting paid. And it's so funny because I actually know creators with very low view and subscriber counts who are doing very well for themselves. And I also know people who have millions of followers and that is a side hustle for them because they cannot turn it into a full-time job. So if you're going to start into the online coaching space, if you haven't got knowledge and you want to teach people online, stop thinking about views. Start thinking about, am I actually helping my target audience? Who is my target audience? What is their biggest problem? And what can I do to provide them with as much value as possible? Now that I think of it, having done social media for over 5 years, none of this shit really matters. This crazy editing, this lights, these professional cameras or anything like that at all. Your target people who will buy from you don't care about any of that. What they do care about is their problems. Can you help them with their problems? And then can they buy your time in order for you to help them start off whatever it is and help them with whatever it is that you specialize in? So please keep that in mind and stop focusing on views, because that doesn't matter as much as you think if your target is to make as much money as possible. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, besides that, is actually talking about what's important and who you should be targeting. Now, there are three biggest niches in online space, okay? We have the beauty, we have gaming, and then we have fitness. And for today's video, I'm just going to use fitness as an example because there are so many fitness coaches out there, personal trainers, online coaches, whatever you want to call them. And all of them essentially target exactly the same demographic and speak exactly the same thing. They talk about eat less, train more, eat healthier food to get in shape and all that sort of stuff. And when you ask them, who's your audience, what they will say everybody. Well, when you're actually basically targeting absolutely everybody as an online coach, you essentially reach nobody, because there are people that have been in the game for 5, 10, 15 years. They are way ahead of you. They have built up the reputation, they have built up the audience, and you have literally zero chance of competing against them because you're completely brand new in the social media space, okay? You haven't built up your name at all, nobody knows who you are, and most likely you're nowhere near as good on video as they are. And also, more likely, you don't have as big of a team that they do. So what most online coaches out there, and this is what I speak to all my clients as well, niche down as much as possible. I, for example, have a client right now, okay? When she started off, she was literally just doing online fitness for everybody. And guess what? She had no clients at all. Then she went down to online fitness, but just for women who want to get into shape. And she still doesn't have any clients at all. It's only when we've added in the third layer, niche down even further, when we spoke about only women who are going to be married. In other words, we are targeting brides. When that change happened, her revenue went through the roof. She went from making no money whatsoever to making over 5K a month in literally a matter of months. Now you may think, but that's the same thing, right? She's still doing exactly the same thing. And yes, you're absolutely right, but her target message was very, very different. What she was saying on social media was very different. What her landing pages said was very different. Because her target audience was so different, all of a sudden, the message is so much clearer, and when that right person, that bride, actually hears her, she's far more likely to go for her than any other general PT or fitness coach out there. Now, I have a partner right now, and we are struggling right now. She wants to be in shape, she wants to lose weight, but she has diabetes. What's interesting is that out of all the PTs, out of all the fitness coaches out there, and there are thousands of them, very, very few of them actually target diabetics. Now, could you imagine how much of a great niche that would be if you're a fitness coach and you took an extra few classes and maybe you read a few courses and read a few books and specialized in working with diabetics? All of a sudden, if I have diabetes and I'm looking for a fitness coach, I will go out of my way and pay someone double if they specialize in who I am and dealing with my health issues in order to help me lose weight or get into shape. So sometimes, in my opinion, coaches, what they need to do is just think about niching down just a little bit further. And I can even give you my own example. So when I started in 2020 and I was actually helping people start their own online Amazon FBA businesses, right? I could have started very, very broad, and I could have went into the niche of, I want to help you make money online, but I didn't do that. I could have went into one layer deeper, which would be, I want to start helping people start their own e-commerce businesses. But that is also quite broad because I could have spoken about TikTok Shop, Amazon, Shopify, eBay, and plenty of other platforms. So I went into level deeper, which was Amazon. So now we went from making money online, e-commerce, and now Amazon. But again, I didn't stop there. From Amazon, I went into one of the three business models that Amazon has, because you have private label, you have wholesale, and then retail and online arbitrage. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on the difference of these three business models because that's not the point of this video, but I went into a niche even deeper, which basically was just private label. In other words, if you want to sell on Amazon and private label, I was the person for you. And then I realized the niche was still too big because there was so much competition and so many people to compete with. So what I did is I added one extra layer and just wanted to target the UK audience. In other words, everything I was speaking about was in British pounds as opposed to dollars. Every single time I spoke about my own results and gave tutorials around Amazon, I was using the UK marketplace. So think about it. I went from just making money online to all of a sudden only helping people who are interested in starting to sell on Amazon Amazon FBA in the UK via private label. Can you imagine how niche that is? And it's because I went in this niche so deep, why my videos didn't have to be the best quality, why my videos didn't need to be the best editing or the best, lights or anything like that, because there wasn't that much competition in the niche. So whoever was interested in that particular business model didn't have that many people else to look at, and therefore found my information really, really valuable. Now, another thing that I want to cover is the fact that even though you're getting 50 to 100 views per video and you may not be getting that many subscribers or followers right now, just imagine what 50 or 100 people actually look like. I mean, that is a crowd. If somebody asked you to go in front of that crowd right now and speak with a microphone or something like that, chances are you probably get nervous, especially if you've never done public speaking before. I've done public speaking in front of 60 people and I was nervous as hell, and I'm not like into public speaking at all. But if somebody said, hey, you only get 60 views per video, you'd be like, oh, that's really, really terrible, right? Because we're so used to, so conditioned in seeing high numbers. So 50 to 100 views from your right audience isn't that small in the first place, okay? But also those views add up. And what's also really important, and this is such a big mistake that I didn't do, that I'm now only learning myself, that has completely changed the game for me and my business, is the importance of email marketing. Every single new viewer, every single new subscriber, every single new person that joins you, your community essentially, and your kind of area of expertise, if you get their email address, okay, you have a way to communicate with them for however long they are subscribed to your emails going forward. Okay, so if you have 100 new people each and every single time when you upload a video, with just a few months you will have an audience of over 1,000 people that you can reach out to. And this is so important, because you may not be ready to start your own online offer right now, but when you are, when you have your online coaching program ready to get started, when you have your course and it's ready to be launched, when you want to do your group coaching program or whatever it is, you have not just a video to make which will get 50 to 100 views like it always does, but you will get an email marketing campaign that you can broadcast to maybe a couple of thousand of people from a highly engaged audience who were willing to give you their email address in the first place, and the chances of you converting those people is so much higher. So remember this: social media is just a tool to funnel your audience down to email marketing and nurture those audience into essentially buying from you. Make sure that each and every single one of those views that do get to see your videos actually count, and you want to get as much value out of that viewer as possible. And ideally what you want to do is give them something of value in return. So make sure to create your lead magnets, and I've done videos on how to do that and what they are and so on and so forth. But essentially make sure that that viewer, once he views your video, has a chance to stay in touch with you, has a chance to actually stay in contact, because they may not be ready to buy your services right now, but if you have their email and you continue to remind themselves of your services, maybe 3, 6, 10 months later down the line, they will actually reach out and actually buy from you. There have been so many occasions where I have actually spoken to my students on my own online coaching program, and they were like, yeah, I was watching your videos for like 10 months and I decided that January was the perfect time for me to start, and I saw your email and therefore I was just decided to buy from you because I was watching your videos non-stop. If that can happen for me, that can definitely happen for you too. And then last but not least, it all depends on the offer that you provide. Now, like I said earlier, the more niche you go in, the more money you can charge. So just going back to the example of, let's say for example, a fitness coach for diabetics. Well, if a usual fitness coaching program is, let's say, 150, 200 pounds a month, well, if I was diabetic and I found a specialist that works with people exactly like myself, I have no problem paying 300 pounds a month, 400 pounds a month, maybe even 500 pounds a month if they really have a lot of testimonials and developed a very good name for themselves in that specific niche. So what's amazing about niching down is the fact that you not only don't need that many views, not only you don't need that many followers, you actually get to charge a lot higher prices for your services. And when you charge higher prices because you're a specialist in that particular field, you don't even need that many clients to start making very, very good money and leave your 9 to 5 as soon as possible. So the point that I'm trying to make out of this video, the conclusion of this video, is really, really simple. If you're going to go down the online coaching route, okay, if you're going to start your own online business, if you're going to start your own mentorship business or whatever, never look at the broadest top of the funnel. Essentially, you essentially want to niche down as much as possible and target very specific audience with very specific problem that they have. They will resonate. Those people, those correct people will resonate with you. They will watch your videos and they will essentially buy from you because you have been targeting their pain and helping with their problems with each and every single time you click the upload button. So be very clear who you want to help, be very specific with who you want to help, and the money will come.